Straight all day.
You're now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day, to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. What is that? That is a go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of wait for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques, all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is getting your business in order before you start trying to create attention, before you go out and start networking, before you go out and start spreading the word about what it is that you're doing, whatever that happens to be. Now, before I get into the what and the why of this subject and getting into the material itself, first of all, let me remind everybody, I have a daily motivation text message that I send out free of charge. Yes, free of charge to everyone who is in my texting community every single morning. If you would like to receive that text, all you have to do is text me at my text number so you can be in my text community. Put this in your phone right now because you already have your phone in your hand. Here's the number. It is 305-384-6894. Every day when I send out that text number, everyone in my text community gets that message. So if you want to get that message, you just got to be in my text community. And to be in my text community, just do what I just said. Text me at that number. So again, that number is also down below in the show notes if you happen to forget it already. So all that said, today's topic, getting your business in order before you start networking. The reason why I'm talking about this, first of all, let's get clear on the definition of the word networking. It means the action or process of interacting with others to exchange information and develop professional or social contacts. That's what networking means. I come across many entrepreneurs who express that they think what they need to do for their business right now is meet more people in order for them to accomplish more and do more business. Sounds like a logical, practical idea. I have found, however, that once I get to talking to these people, that many times their real challenge is they need to get their shit together first before they go meet people, so that when they do meet people, they actually have something of substance to offer. This goes right back to what we talked about in yesterday's episode. Mindset first, strategy second, accountability third, then the execution. Many people want to jump straight into the execution when you don't even have the material. You don't even have the substance or the ingredients to actually achieve an outcome with your execution. So while you may have the right idea to execute, you don't have the pieces. And that's what we're talking about here today. One of those pieces is making sure that you have your business where it needs to be, so that when you do meet someone that is worth meeting for you, you actually have something of substance that will hold their attention and actually do something for you. Let's get into it. Point number one. First of all, let's remember what value means. The topic again today is why you need to get your business in order before you are trying to make contacts and network. What is value? Value is what people want. That's all value means. What people want. In episode 2025, I told you how to increase your value to others. If you didn't listen to that episode, go listen to it, because that's where I explain what value actually means. And a lot of people clearly do not understand it, because that's why you're operating out of order. Again, you're not following the process that I just laid out in yesterday's episode, my four-part coaching framework. What do you have that other people want? That's my question to you. Any of you who feels like you need to network more in order to do more business, what do you have that other people want? More specifically, think about the type of people that you want to meet. What can you offer them that they would actually want? That's actually a better question, because many times, and this happens very often, I'm talking to a professional who they want to do more networking and they think that's their issue. I say, what do you have that other people want? And they'll tell me some version of what they think is valuable to other people. Here's a better question though. What do you have to offer that those people would actually want? That they would actually want to buy from you? If you cannot clearly and quickly answer this question, you don't need to network yet. You're not in the networking stage yet. Let me say that again. If you cannot clearly and quickly answer the question, what do you have to offer that other people would actually want from you, you are not ready yet to network. That's not what you need to be doing. Why? Because you don't even know what your value proposition is. Your value proposition is what you offer to other people that would get their attention and get them intrigued and make them want to talk to you. What can you offer them that they want, so that you can communicate it clearly to other people with whom you would like to engage? See, whatever it is that you are offering to other people that they will want, when you share it, which will take you less than 30 seconds, They should say, that's interesting. All right, how do you do that? Tell me more. Or start asking you questions. If they're not doing that, then you're not clear on your value proposition yet. When you're talking to your ideal person, do you even know who your ideal person is? If I say, who's your ideal person? I'll get 5 of them in the room right now. Can you tell me who they are? If you can't answer that question clearly, specifically, and succinctly, then you don't even know who you're talking to yet, let alone can you tell them what they need from you. This is why you got to get your shit together first. This is what I'm talking about and what I talked about in yesterday's episode. The mindset first, strategy second, the accountability third. We got to get these pieces in place first before you start doing the execution pieces. There are many people out here trying to do these execution pieces and you don't even have the ingredients. You're trying to bake a meal. You only had a recipe. Now, you don't have the ingredients to cook. You got a stove and you got a pan, but you don't have any food. All right, how are you going to make a meal? Moving on to point number 2. Today's topic, once again, is get your business in order before you go out trying to network. Number 2, you cannot network if you have no game. You cannot network when you have no game. What does this mean? Back in my basketball days, I would get basketball players reaching out to me all the time. They would tell me some story around the fact that they were lamenting the fact that they were from a small town or from some country that basketball is not big in, or they went to some small school, or they felt like they weren't getting enough opportunity to be scouted and seen by college coaches. I would hear this very often from basketball players, like every day damn near. And most of them would be focused on the wrong thing because they were operating off of an inaccurate formula. That many of them had gotten into, first of all, this is a mindset piece because they were feeling sorry for themselves, and secondly, this was a poor strategy and inaccurate formula because they were using this, I'm from a small town or a small country or a small school. They were using that as an excuse for why they weren't getting the attention that they wanted from the basketball world, when the actual problem was they had no game. See, if you have no game, it doesn't matter if a scout or a college coach is at the game because they wouldn't notice you anyway. And here's the thing, in the sports world, and I know this, I'm just using sports as an example here. In the sports world, when you can play, guess what happens? They find you. When you can play, they find you. Why? Because it is their job to find you. When you are good, you will be found as long as you make yourself findable. What does it mean to make yourself findable? It means to be on the court playing in games. If you're as good as you say you are, good enough to play at some college or be recruited or be scouted or play D1 or whatever it is you think you're destined for, the NBA, whatever, they're going to find you. Why? Because you're good. Good players get found, folks. And that's a metaphor. That is not just for basketball players. Good players get found. Difference makers get found. Great performers get discovered. Why? Because it is the job of the people who employ great players to find great players. That's their full-time gig. That's what they get paid to do. If they fail to find a great player, they lose their job. So they're incentivized to find you. Okay? So when you have no game, and this is all of you here, I'm talking to you business folks, when you don't have game, your challenge is not you need to meet people. Because if you met them, what are you going to say to them? What are you going to offer them? What are you going to tell them about yourself? All right, they're not even going to understand what you're doing or who you are, or even if they do understand it, they won't give a damn because you haven't got your shit together yet. So again, I'm just using sports as the metaphor here. A lot of basketball players didn't need to be seen by a college coach. You didn't need college coaches or scouts coming to your games. You can't play. If they came to the game, they wouldn't remember you. What those players needed to do instead was develop their game so that when they did get seen by somebody who mattered, that person might actually notice that you existed. That's the same thing for many of you in business right now, is you need to develop your game so that if you do meet your ideal person, first of all, once you decide who they actually are, you get clear on that, and you tell them what it is that you're offering, your value proposition, your unique selling proposition is also known as your USP. They're actually interested in talking to you. If you can get someone interested in talking to you right now, why do you want to meet more people? All you're doing is ruining your chances of ever talking to the right type of person with the right type of offer. Many of you are looking around for ways to network and get seen and make more connections when you don't even have anything of value to offer to the people with whom you want to network. If I put you in a room full of people right now, any of you right now who feels like your biggest thing is you just need to meet more people, here's my question. If I put you in a room full of people right now that you want to network with, these are the people that you actually want to meet, what do you have to offer them? Now here's the other question. Why would they want to talk to you? I know why you want to talk to them. Why would they want to talk to you? If you can't answer that question, then networking is not your next step. Your next step is strategy. Your next step is mindset and strategy. This is an important question because many people in life, and can be in business, it can be in sports, it can be in anything in life, relationships, many people are so focused on what you want rather than what the people who you serve want. That's what you need to be thinking about. Your job is not focused on what you want, especially those of you who are in sales, and we're all in sales on some level. Your focus needs to be on the people who I serve. What do they want? And how can I get it to them? Because if you're not giving them what they want, they will not even respond to your offer to even have a conversation. They're not even clicking on your ad. They're not liking your pictures. They're not opening your emails. They're not responding to anything that you're doing because you're not talking about what they want. You got to talk about what the person that you're selling wants. That's your focus. It's not on you. The focus is on them. As Zig Ziglar said, you give other people what they want, you can get everything, and I do mean everything that you want. But many of you are so self-centered, you are so self-conscious, and you are so focused on you and what you want that you're not even thinking about what your ideal target person wants. Therefore, you don't know what it is. Therefore, you're not communicating it. Therefore, you can't offer it. Therefore, they're not interested in you because you're operating off of an inaccurate formula. Do you see what I just explained there? If your formula is, here's what I want, then you already got an inaccurate formula. If that's the way that you're thinking, your formula is already off. Remember that networking is an exchange, folks. They give you something and you give them something. Sales is an exchange. They give you something, you give them something. Here's my question to you. What do you have to give that they actually want? If you're not sure what they actually want, then you have work to do. I can help you with that work, but you got to meet me at least 51% of the way. Yes, we call this the 51-49 rule. I talked about this, and let me tell you what episode that was. That was episode 1282, the 51-49 rule. I can only help people who are willing to help themselves, and you take full ownership. You are the majority stake owner in your success, not me. Point number 3. Today's topic, once again, is why you need to get your business in order before you go out looking to network. Number 3, when you're looking to network, remember that half of the job is knowing what the other person wants and being able to clearly communicate that you can supply it. As I have said in both points, number 1 and number 2, you need to know what they want and clearly communicate that you have it. Knowing what you want and talking about yourself is less than half the job. It's not even half the job, it's less than half the job, because guess who doesn't give a damn about what you want? Your clients and the people who you're networking with and the people that you sell your products and services to. They don't care what you want. It doesn't even cross their mind what you want. What they're thinking about is what they want. And that's what you need to be thinking about and talking about. That's the mindset of a salesperson. You're thinking about what do they want, because they really don't care about you. Actually, very few people on the planet really care about you. Maybe your parents, if you're under 18. After that, not them much anymore. Not even your spouse. Not even your, who else? Not even your kid. Your kids don't care about what you, they care about what they want and how they can get it through you. That's it. So very few people on this planet, you can count on one hand, who really give a damn about what you want. You might not even have to count at all, because it might not be many. Your job is to think about what they want. That's how you get what you want. So it's a 2-step process. You follow me? This is like mental chess. Many of you are so focused on yourself that you don't even realize that you're missing the other half of the job. This is why you're failing in networking, let alone in actually consummating transactions. And this is why you don't even need to be doing any more of it, because you don't even know what you're doing. Who are you looking to serve and what do they want? Can you answer that question in one sentence? What is the conversation that's going on in their heads right now? Not your head, in their head right now. Why would they want your solution, whatever it is? Why do they want it from you? Why do they want it right now? Do they want it right now? What is it going to do for them that solves a problem that they have? How are you sure of your answers to any of these questions? Are you guessing? Are you just saying what you think the answer is, or do you know what the answer is? And is there a way to know the answer? Yes, there is a way to know the answer. I can help you with all of these things. I tell you every day how to get help from me, but like I said, 51-49 rule. I can only help people who want to help themselves. If you cannot answer all of the above questions in the affirmative and clearly and succinctly, then you have work to do. And to do that work, you should seek professional help. Someone who knows what they're doing, who has proven that they know what they're doing, someone who demonstrates that they know what they're doing, and can communicate to you exactly what you need to do. That's the kind of help that you need. You can decide who that is, but you need help, because you can't help yourself. Not in this situation. And you shouldn't enroll yourself as the help in this situation. It doesn't make sense. You need to find yourself a coach. You need to join a program, and you need to do so yesterday. Why? Because every day another 24 hours is ticking off the clock. That's another less day that you have on this planet to achieve the success that you want to achieve, so that you can help yourself, so you can help your family, so you can help your next generation, so you can help your community, so you can help the government by paying taxes on the money that you make, so you can help everybody else that you want to help, that everybody that you may be responsible for. If you have kids or family or any of that stuff, you need to get the help. The professional help is going to help you get to the level that you want to get to. But again, you got to take the first step. All right, nobody can make you do this. You got to get serious about creating your own success. And the most successful people do not do it all by themselves. They do a lot on their own, but they get help with the pieces that they are not experts at. And this is why they become experts, because they focus on where they're great and they get help for the places where they're not great. The question is, what are you doing? Are you fooling yourself into thinking you're great at everything and failing at trying to prove it? Let's recap today's class, which is getting your business in order before you start networking. The definition of networking is the action or process of interacting with others to exchange information and develop professional or social contacts. Come across many entrepreneurs who feel like they need to network more. Well, I find out what they actually need to do is get their shit together, and that's what these points are about here today. Number one, remember what value is. Value is what people want. What do you have that other people want? Or can you offer people something that they actually want, and how do you know they want it? If you can't answer these questions, you got work to do. Point number two, you can't network with no game. All right, if you don't have game, then what you don't need is more people paying attention to you, because actually that'll turn them off from you and they won't be interested in talking to you ever again, because they just saw your game or your lack of game and they're not interested. Many of you are operating off this inaccurate formula, figuring out that you just need to meet more people, when actually you don't need to meet anybody. What you need to do is meet someone who can help you figure what your game is, so that when you do meet somebody that could possibly be a client or a customer of yours, you actually can talk to them in their language and enter the conversation that is in their head. If you were in a room full of people with whom you want to network right now, what do you have to offer them? You got 30 seconds to give them a pitch that would let them decide if they want to hear more from you or not. What are you going to say that they actually want to hear? This is an important question, because many of you are so focused on what you want that you don't even think about what the other person wants. That is a terrible way to make sales, a terrible way to do business. And number three, when you're looking to network, remember that more than half of the job is knowing what the other person wants and being able to clearly communicate that you are capable of supplying it. Know what you want, and talking about yourself, knowing what you want, talking about yourself is only half the job, or it's not even half the job. Most people don't even give a damn about you or what you want. And this is why you're failing in networking, because you're only thinking about yourself. This does not work. It doesn't work in networking, doesn't work in sports, doesn't work in relationships, doesn't work in business, doesn't work anywhere for you to only be thinking about yourself. Let me tell you how many people think about you or care about what you want. Very few. Maybe your parents, maybe your grandmother, maybe your kids, maybe your spouse. That's pretty much it. Nobody else. So what is it going to do for them? What are you offering that they want? What's the conversation going on in their head right now? How are you so sure that you know these answers to be true? If you can't answer all of these questions in the affirmative, then you need to find a coach, you need to join a program, you need to do so yesterday, and you need to sit down and you need to actually do the work. Not guess the work, do the work. All that said, two things to do. First of all, text me to get my daily motivation straight to your phone free of charge. My number is 305-384-6894. Secondly, go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. That's where you can join my coaching programs, one-on-one and group program options are there. Again, that's workonyourgameuniversity.com. Work on your game. Dre all day.